Hey Nathan, you running another show, man?
Yeah, yeah. I'll run another one. There'll be
Hey,
about a 5 minute break.
I
Go
got
ahead.
that I got that short presentation on. I just don't want to forget about that. That's what I started out with.
Oh,
So just to let you know.
what was the presentation on?
Oh, just a short 2 minute. Because I've been getting, the news flash from the pretender clowns. Uh, that the second law of thermodynamics only applies to isolated systems. That's the new.
Oh, the
Yeah,
isolated system argument. Oh yeah, jolly good. Yeah, we'll get to that after
yeah.
housekeeping. Excellent.
Okay, okay.
Only, wow, there's a limit. That is ridiculous.
Hey Daniel, you gonna hang around?
That is incredible.
Limit to what?
To claim that entropy has like a gradient, that's absurd.
I mean,
Where's
you're obviously a glober, right?
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that is
What?
just sick. It's just claiming a gradient. I guess it's the same thing what they did with gravity. Just projecting it into a field
Hmm.
in their
Arwin, we made it
imaginary
into the big leagues. We got soccer accounts in the chat
yeah.
sending hate messages.
Is that you, Joseph Saunders? Who's the sock you're talking about?
Arwin has a soccer account and he types messages in the chat, in the YouTube chat. And
Yeah.
myself, now that I got the
I'm
one
aware.
with my new avatar, typing shit around.
I think
Saying
I don't
Ranty
mind
that
banning
Ranty
them.
has curvature when Ranty showed up in the chat.
What's
I go
the
like,
name?
what the hell?
What's the actual name it's under? I don't mind banning them. If they're just literally a direct replicate of your account, I'll just ban them. The same goes for Globeheads. If I see like a fake George, I'll ban it. So
The other day,
what's the
that
name?
fake Arwen. I really thought that was Arwen.
Fake Arwen.
I had to click
Okay.
on his.
it was very active.
What's the last thing it said? Was it a smiley face?
I say that during.
Go to channel.
I always
look.
do that during the
that's
intros and
you.
outros.
That's you. So where's the fake one? Where's the fake Arwen?
He's been gone for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a while ago, maybe 15 or 20 minutes ago. When Ranty showed up, I go like, hey, Ranty, and he say, hey, yeah, Jose. And then I see myself, I see my logo type in a message like, Ranty, you're always catching curvature on your videos. I go like, what the fuck? I got a stock account.
Yeah, you get used to that as you build a bit of a name for yourself. People will come up to me and go, "What were you saying in Roxanne's chat?" And I'm like, "I don't think I've ever been in Roxanne's chat." Yeah, you were in there giving me grief. I think so.
How do you think Anthony feels?
Yeah, Anthony's account is porn bomb people.
People porn bomb in Anthony's name.
Yep.
Yeah. But what's worse though is people that accept or believe that it's actually me. And I'm like, well, I get that, but if you really think that I've done that, why don't you fucking come and ask me before you react? Because I haven't porn bombed anybody. I do kick people in Nathan's chat, and I kicked Miles Delia Davis once in what's his face's hangout. But you know,
Which hangout was that?
I'm pro flat Earth.
Which hangout did you kick him from?
When we were in with Steve Deceive.
Steve McClown. Okay, I didn't know that. You booted Miles Davis.
Right at the very, very end when he was rounding out and telling everyone thanks for coming goodbye, and they all got their chance to speak. I kicked him so he couldn't speak.
I dropped.
Hey, Jose.
I'm not the fake one.
I don't even know how to do it, I don't even know how to snipe. I've literally never sniped anybody. I don't even know how to do it.
I felt bad for Anthony one day. I don't know if y'all remember the channel. It's called You've Been Exposed.
Yeah, Dread.
And he had like 150 people watching one day and got porn bombed by the name Sleeping Warrior. And he actually thought it was Anthony. I felt so bad, man. I was in the chat in all caps. I was like, that was not Anthony.
Yeah.
When you do that kind of
They
shit,
didn't
Riley,
really-
man.
I think I know who it is that's doing it, but the thing that bugs me is that it's quite effective, because I noticed that Roxanne has given out wrenches to loads of people, right? And I've been there 4 or 5 times giving support, and she hasn't wrenched me. And I'm like, is this because she thinks that I might be a porn bomber? And I can only think that it would be, because I mean, everyone knows what I do, right? I like the back and forth, the banter, the disagreements, the fight, whatever you want to call it. But I don't porn bomb anybody in Flat Earth. Why the fuck would I do that?
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, and there's also a PayPal link in the info box below the video. But most importantly, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Quantum Eraser, Stopping Traffic in My Rasta Hat, Sleeping Warrior, Peanuts Clark, Jose, Eric, Earth Flattener, Daniel, Arwin, and Anon. Good to have you all.
Anon, can you speak up?
Thank you.
Good to have you.
Oh.
Just say no to sock account.
Anyway, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Let's rattle our way through housekeeping. Any signs of Earth curvature, gentlemen?
No.
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 Nope.
No. Any more for any more? Any signs of axial rotation? The Earth-based variety specifically?
No.
Nope.
No inherent motion. Nope.
Any scientific evidence of gravity?
Nope.
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 No.
Where you at, Daniel? Come on, Daniel.
I don't know. Things fall down.
Scientific
Is this
evidence.
Daniel in chat?
I haven't been in for a while.
Are you the same Daniel that trolls me like mad on my channel?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay then.
Yeah, well, anyway, that's not scientific evidence, so moving on. Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
Okay.
There is
I
no
mean,
distance
you
to the sun.
It's repeatable.
No.
Sorry. The word
Distance to the
repeatable
sun.
does not make it scientific. Yeah, the word repeatable is hijacked from the scientific method. It comes from the part where you perform systematic experimentation. So being repeatable doesn't make it scientific. Okay? Excellent, moving on. Any signs of the distance to the sun?
There is no distance to the sun.
No.
Nope.
Any evidence of gas pressure without a container?
Ever.
No.
Ooh, ha.
There's a priority flash message that we have to get to. Are we done with housekeeping? Or
No. This is part of housekeeping. So if you've got evidence of gas pressure without a container, this is the point I want to hear about it. For
here,
certain.
I'll share my screen.
Okie doke. Hopefully this works.
Let me know when it's up.
Hooray. Yes, it does. Yes, it works. Yes, you're on.
So there's a new flash priority message from the Pretender Clown Globetards sent out to all its members, because I've been bombarded with this and I've been seeing this everywhere now for the past couple of days. The answer, or I don't know if it's an answer, the comeback to the question, how can you have a gas pressure without a container, has led to this statement right here. Can everyone see this? The second law of thermodynamics only applies to isolated systems. This is the new comeback, folks. Really? This is tantamount to a neurosurgical candidate during an interview with the chair of neurosurgery suddenly exclaiming a cerebellum is a faculty of anaerobe woodpecker. For goodness sakes. Okay, let's take a look at this. From hyperphysics.edu. An isolated system implies a collection of matter which does not interact with the rest of the universe at all. And as far as we know, there are really no such systems. So what they're saying is that the second law of thermodynamics only applies to systems that don't exist. That's essentially what they're saying. They kind of haven't thought this through. So the principal pillar of physics, the second law of thermodynamics, see Einstein, only applies to systems that don't exist, right? That has to be, that's up there in the preposterous absurdity, ludicrousness. From the University of Queensland, the second law of thermodynamics places an observation of everyday life into a formal statement. Heat flows spontaneously from a substance at a higher temperature to a substance at a lower temperature and does not flow spontaneously in the other direction. So, globetards, according to you, the second law of thermodynamics only applies to systems that don't exist in everyday life. I mean, do you people reminisce with strangers? And Clown Show from Isaac Asimov, one of their chief pseudoscience priests. They put this guy, their statues in regards to this guy. Listen to what he has to say. In the game of energy and thermodynamics, you can't break even, from the Smithsonian Institute Journal. Another way of stating the second law, then, is the universe is constantly getting more disorderly. Viewed that way, we can see the second law all about us. We have to work hard to straighten a room, but left to itself, it becomes a mess again, very quickly and very easily. Even if we never enter it, it becomes dusty and musty. How difficult to maintain houses and machinery and our bodies in perfect working order. How easy to let them deteriorate. In fact, all we have to do is nothing, and everything deteriorates, collapses, breaks down, wears out, all by itself. And that is what the second law is all about. So, Globetard Pretender Clowns, can you tell us why Professor Asimov couches the second law of thermodynamics entirely in an Earth-based context, but you say the second law of thermodynamics doesn't apply to the Earth? Moreover, Dr. John Ross, Harvard scientist, chemical and engineering news, there are no known violations of the second law of thermodynamics. Ordinarily, the second law is stated for isolated systems, but the second law applies equally well to open systems. There is somehow associated with the field of far from equilibrium phenomena the notion that the second law of thermodynamics fails for such systems. It is important to make sure that this error doesn't perpetuate itself. So, are you saying that here on Earth, that is, according to your fairy tale, which is an open system, you get hotter and hotter the further you move away from a fire? Or that gases spontaneously enter into a pressurized tire when the pin is depressed? The street lights are on. Your mom is calling. In conclusion, listen closely, you daft, wiki parroting, pretender clown muppets. After this tear-jerking belly laugher, you could discover the cure for Ebola tomorrow, have monuments and statues dedicated and songs written in your honor. Yet if the 5th grade general science class got wind of your debacle above, you'd be belly laughed out of the class, straitjacketed, and escorted by security to Shady Meadows. Thanks for the belly laughs. My word.
Okay.
That's it.
John, I've got a question for you. John, let me just preempt what a baller would say, right? A baller would say, that's just another cherry-picked quote mine piece of nonsense quote from Quantum Eraser. So let's address that. Is that let's attack it from the baller's perspective, right? Is it cherry-picked quote mined or anything like that quote?
Which one? I've got a whole bunch of them in here, and they're not quotes, they're citations. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
So there's 4 citations. There's no quotes. They're all citations.
Didn't you? Hang on. Didn't you?
No, there was a quote in there.
Yeah, there was a quote. It was the guy that said they apply equally well to open systems. That was a quote, was it not?
No, it's a citation. That's from
Can we get it back up on the screen?
Chemical and Engineering News, page 40.
Right, so can we use the empirical reference that you've used for that and bring it on screen, and let's just see that it's not been cherry picked, quote mined, or whatever? I know I'm doing this on the fly. But
I know you said this is what a glowtard would say.
Hello.
My question was going to be early.
One second, one at a time.
Okay.
Anthony, I don't have a link to this.
Oh.
The only one I have a link to is...
right, that's why it's a citation then. But you were quoting what he said though, right?
No. It's still a citation. I just don't have the link.
Yeah, it's not a hyperlink. Okay.
Yeah,
it's from a guy, from someone that a guy. It's just got a name, right? Anyway, my question would have been from your definition of isolated system. Where did you get that? What is it?
Hyperphysics.
Because, I mean, if we just Google isolated system.
Why do you have to Google? I got hyperphysics.edu right here. It's looking at you right in the face.
Sure, but I don't think in a practical manner that any scientist uses that definition of isolated system.
How do you know what scientists use or don't use?
Isolated system that still works.
How do you know what scientists use and don't use?
Well,
who are you?
Just practically common sense. It's impossible to have an isolated system in that definition. But there are isolated systems in the world.
Who is this?
Daniel.
What's your name again?
Dan.
Daniel. Are you that crayon muncher in the comment sections of Nathan's video?
I think he is.
I just pummeled you with this. Are you that same guy?
I think he is.
He's a wiki parroter. This guy can only parrot wiki, man. That's all he can do. Go on.
I don't link Wikipedia at all. I don't know what you're on about.
Well, you come up on the comments as Daniel.
I come up in the comments as my name that is here. Yeah.
Do you come up on the comments as Daniel Marshall, or do you come up in the comments as Daniel?
Did you just reply to a comment from me this morning?
Might not be him, John.
It's not me.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Go on.
Although I did have the Wikipedia up.
That's okay.
So
that's all right.
I loaded up Wikipedia for second law of thermodynamics and clicked on that isolated system link.
Why do you need that link when I got hyperphysics link right here?
Just
because you want me to read it again?
That's not really a usable definition that I can't imagine.
What are you talking about?
In a common sense.
What are you talking about? It's right here.
That might be a definition of isolated
system. Oh my
system.
God, a definition? No, it's the definition of an isolated system.
You have isolated systems in the universe.
Are you looking at this? Right? Right?
But the thing is, you skipped over the first thing.
Right? It goes over all the conservation laws.
Yeah, so then the question becomes, Daniel, what's the issue with that citation? Or is it that you want to cherry pick a different one?
Well, I just went on the one on Wikipedia that says a physical system so far removed from other systems that it does not interact with them. That doesn't necessarily mean it's isolated from the rest of the universe. It's just, you would say that a room that hasn't been touched, as you gave as an example, would be a close to isolated system.
No, it's not. What's an isolated system?
It's close to. It's not an
isolated system. No.
Let's just define a few terms. Sorry to interrupt, John. So, what is an isolated system, Daniel?
I don't have the exact definition. I didn't pick.
Sorry, hold on. Let me get this straight. You're arguing about his definition of an isolated system, but you don't know what one is. But you don't actually know what one is.
Yes, but that's exactly what my question was earlier. I was arguing about gravity, and when I asked you, you didn't have a second explanation. I mean, I don't have to have an explanation or a definition myself. I'm not claiming to know one.
Are you drunk?
No. Although
what does that have to do with his charge against you?
His charge? What?
Yeah, his
gravity
charging.
nonsense.
Oh my god!
I could try and keep up.
But you wanted to repeat that again to him, Nathan?
Yeah, go ahead.
Unbelievable. He's challenging me with what an isolated system is, but he doesn't have any clue what one is. And then your retort was to say that Nathan is also guilty because he didn't have an alternate explanation. Are you drunk?
Oh, actually, could you... Sorry, yeah, I don't need to give an alternate explanation if I don't have one. Like,
oh my god!
I'm not claiming to know. But if you read the rest of that sentence,
you for an alternate explanation. You asked Nathan for an alternate explanation.
Yeah.
Do you know where? What do you know? Where are you?
Could you read the rest of that paragraph?
I can't. What did you say?
He's asking you to read the rest of it.
Read the rest of the paragraph.
Why?
Well, if you trust this quote, then the rest of the paragraph might also be trustworthy.
It's a citation.
A citation.
If this was a quote, then this would be in quotations, and then my citation would have as quoted in, right? So, did you graduate high school?
Citation on this page. Could you read the rest of that paragraph, please?
Did you graduate high school right before I read the rest of it?
I'm way past high school.
Or are you still in high school?
No, I'm past high school. Not that you need to know or care anyway, because...
Well, yeah, because somebody who passed high school would automatically know if they've done just a simple research paper, right? Do you know a research paper has a works cited page and a bibliography? You understand that, right?
Yes, I understand this, but on your, if you go into the email that you had, in that situation, it is a quote. When you load up the page,
not. No, I just don't have a works cited page or a bibliography because I don't want to have my
sorry,
post
is
or
there quotation marks around
Excuse
that definition
me,
that you've highlighted?
I don't want to have my posts and presentations longer than War and Peace, so I post the citations directly in the body of the presentation.
Okay, that's fine. Let's move on from that. That's not really relevant to anything anyway. Could you read the rest of that paragraph?
There is no shield against gravity, and the electromagnetic force is infinite in range. But in order to focus on the basic principles, it is useful to postulate such a system to clarify the nature of the physical laws. In particular, the conservation laws can be presumed to be exact when referring to an isolated system. Good?
Yes.
Now, how does that help your position? That's what I thought.
Can be presumed to be exact.
How does that help the position right here when you say the second law of thermodynamics only applies to isolated systems? When you drop an egg in the kitchen, you know, it splatters all over the floor. Does that naturally fuse back together again without input from you? That is energy and intelligence. Welcome to the second law of thermodynamics.
I don't even why I'm arguing this point, because I don't believe that the second law of thermodynamics, it practically only applies to isolated systems anyway. That's I don't know why I'm arguing this. Just ignore me.
But you would agree that they would apply equally well to almost any system, so including
pretty much.
So an open system, it would equally apply.
Well, if that's the definition of isolated system, you can't have one of those in the real world. And conservation of the second law of thermodynamics does work and can be seen.
Excellent. So maybe you can answer me this.
Sure.
Do you believe in outer space?
Yes.
How is it possible that we have a gas pressure here without the necessary antecedent, a container?
Well, where would it? There is air around the Earth.
Yes, I know.
Where would it go other than that?
Sorry, don't ask me a question. Explain. Okay. Given that you believe in outer space, a vacuum, how is it possible, given your religious belief in outer space, that we have gas pressure here now, breathing it, without a container? How is that possible?
Please don't say gravity.
I mean, gravity. Sure.
Oh.
So
sorry. Did we not go through with this on the last show with you?
What,
right.
gravity? The existence of gravity? Well,
no,
whether you
no. The scientific validity, not your religious assertion. The scientific validity of gravity, of which there is. Bear with me. I know when people get to the devastating point, they want to talk all over it. I understand that. We already went through this with you. You have no scientific evidence of gravity. When the question was asked at the beginning of the show, you gave no response.
Right. Well,
so are you now going to piss in our faces and assert that gravity holds this atmosphere to the sphere Earth that you believe in? Are you literally going to piss that in my face again after not giving us any scientific evidence of it? Is that what you're about to do?
Are you expecting me to explain the scientific evidence?
Sorry,
right
I'm
now
expecting you to give me an example of gas pressure being maintained without a container, and if you cannot do so, explain why you have a religious belief in outer space.
And how you're breathing right now.
The container is essentially gravity.
Sorry, did you not understand the last annoyance where I said, are you going to piss it back in our faces? Listen up, dickhead. Do not piss this back in our face a third time. We went through it with you. You have no scientific backing for your assertion of your nonsense religion in gravity. Now, the fact that that first religious belief was taken apart before this one makes no odds. It doesn't mean that you can reassert it. It doesn't mean you can piss it back in our faces. So don't.
I will believe in gravity until...
I don't care about your belief, you stupid idiot. Shut your mouth. This is not a religious forum. Do not assert your belief here. Do you understand what I've just said to you?
Okay. So
Good.
my explanation is based on...
Do not, under any circumstances, repeat your religious belief again.
Ignore my belief of the existence of gravity, based on scientific evidence, then you are ignoring my explanation for...
There is no scientific evidence for gravity. We just went through this.
Does he want a shot at the title?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask him.
We don't need to do this together.
I don't want to humiliate him. It seems like we do it on every single show with idiots that just want to piss it back in our faces. Their religious belief. Okay, Sunbeam, you asked for it. Let's hear your scientific evidence for gravity.
Is he seeing... wait
I can't
1 second, Daniel.
explain, like, if you don't already understand that gravity...
No, we're not asking for an explanation.
I'm not going to try and...
Do you not understand the word scientific evidence? Why are you telling us that if I can't understand... Shut up! Why are you telling... Shut up! Why are you telling us that if we don't understand your explanation when we've specifically asked for scientific evidence? Do you have a problem with English?
Clearly.
No.
Hello? Do you have a problem with English?
No.
Right. So when I say scientific evidence, why do you substitute it for the word explanation?
How would you like this scientific evidence produced?
Excellent. Over to you, John.
Yes. So I wanted to save this from yesterday.
Oh right, okay. We're back to this.
No, this is perfect. He joined the show explaining that he had seen the last show with Rumpus and he agreed with the hypothesis given, but just thought we misunderstood it. So
no, that's not what I said.
No problem. My bad. I'll step back, John. Just delete the whole lot. We'll start from fresh.
No, don't. That'll take forever.
No, it's okay. You've claimed we've got scientific evidence after I've shouted at you and demanded that you do not piss it back in our faces. You then pissed it back in our faces and declared it as your belief, so you're a religious zealot. Now you're going to back what you've claimed. You've said there's scientific evidence. Now give it us.
Natural phenomena observed, please.
Mass attracts mass. That's fine.
All right. Alternative hypothesis. No, that's fine. That's fine. Do we want to go over? Can you define mass? Because I don't think you could see it. Right?
Absolutely. No, he's not getting an easy ride. Let's define.
He's
terms,
not observing
please.
mass.
Sorry. Let's just define some terms. If he says mass attracts mass, what the hell is mass?
body of matter.
Can you define it?
No,
need a bit more
let's not laugh at
explanation.
him.
Why?
Wait, guys, you do
why
realize
does if you don't know what mass is, then there's something wrong.
I'm
no,
not doing this.
Then tell us,
stupid
do
bonehead.
you know what mass is?
Sorry,
we want to
you're
know,
the
do
one
you
doing
know
this.
what mass is?
You're defining it. This is your scientific evidence. Don't tell us that we automatically need to know your terms. Just tell us them.
I'm fine with that definition on the screen.
No, there's no definition.
You do realize.
It says mass is both a property of a physical body and a measure of its resistance to acceleration.
Okay, I see now.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Listen, people in the background. Shut up. Okay? All right, thank you. Mass. Do you see these definitions here? You have two definitions. One for inertia, one for mass. You said this is a good one, right? Let's roll with this one. However, this definition right here and this definition right here is exactly the same. However, we got two different words for that same definition. So that's a problem, right?
Why?
Well, you can only have one definition for each word.
Two words can mean the same concept. Thing. Essentially. Yeah, that's not really a problem.
Yeah, it is a problem.
Why?
Because why? Because you don't
it's the reason you use the word
you can't have two definitions for a single word, or two words with the same definition. That's a problem. However, we're not going to belabor that. Let's go back and train Ricky here, right? We'll do the same thing as we did yesterday. This is the real meat. Okay, mass attracts mass, natural phenomena. We'll let you have that. I don't think you could see it, right? But that's okay. What's your alternative hypothesis, please?
Just as a question, are we going through this as if we don't know that gravity is a thing?
Sorry, we are trying to get to the stage where we have some scientific validity for gravity. So this would be the scientific method. So we've started with your observed phenomena. That's step one. Now we're formulating a hypothesis. That's step two. You claimed science, did you not?
Sure.
Right. So get on with it.
Okay. Probably don't delete all of that. Just change the is equal to and put it to proportional. Or is proportional to. Product of two masses multiplied by... No, just product of two masses divided by the distance between two masses squared.
Two masses and delete this, right?
I think so.
Yeah, because I already told you have to delete it because you're begging the question, right? That's okay. I got you. Okay, delete this?
Yes.
Okay. Good. You saved yourself from a begging the question fallacy from the Black Lagoon. So the force, so let me just say it to you, and if this is correct, give me a yes or a no. Alternative hypothesis, the force between masses is proportional to the product of the two masses squared. Is that correct?
No. The force between masses is the product of the two masses divided by distance between the center of mass.
You just told me to friggin' erase that. I'm not...
oh, right. I meant the gravitational constant bit. I didn't realize you were deleting the rest of it. Sorry.
Hold on. We're trying to prove gravity, and you've got gravity in the hypothesis. The scientific prediction includes the very thing that you're trying to prove as part of the hypothesis. Is that correct?
So what?
Oh my goodness gracious. Do we need to start over at the beginning? I'll tell you what. I'm going to get this out of here because...
Can you just put the equation...
No, I'm not putting the equation because equations are not hypotheses, for crying out loud. Do you know what a hypothesis is? Let's go down here. We got to do it. I'm sorry. Sorry, folks out there. A hypothesis. The hypothesis should also contain a prediction about its verifiability. For example, if the hypothesis is true, then 1 should happen when 2 is manipulated. The first blank is the dependent variable. It depends on what you're doing in the second blank. And the second blank, number 2, is the independent variable. So in your hypothesis, you need a dependent and an independent variable. Let's try this. Maybe this will make a little bit more sense. It gives a full explanation of what a hypothesis is.
What I would put in hypothesis.
So, okay. Formalized hypotheses contain 2 variables. One is the independent and the other is the dependent. The independent variable is the one you, the scientist, control, and the dependent variable is the one you observe and or measure the result. Notice there are 2 parts to a formalized hypothesis. You see this? 2 parts. Not 3, not 10, not 50, 2. The if portion contains the testable proposed relationship, and then the prediction portion is the expected results of an experiment. An acceptable hypothesis contains both aspects, not just the prediction portion. So, we already have your dependent variable because you gave it to us with your observed phenomenon. You see this mass attracts mass? That is ipso facto your dependent variable. So we got that one. Now we need the cause, the independent variable. So maybe it's easier that way. Just give me the independent variable and then we'll make the hypothesis.
Or to put it another way, what causes mass attracting mass?
We don't know.
Sorry, what the hell are you doing?
Bingo.
This is supposed to be your scientific evidence.
Science as a whole does not know. And
Sorry, science doesn't know things. It's a method. It doesn't know stuff. It's a method. This is supposed to be your scientific evidence of gravity, isn't it?
No, science is a religion for them.
The hypothesis in the chat, if you want to just copy in.
Just tell us. You've got your observed phenomena. What's the problem?
I typed what the alternative hypothesis would be in the chat.
Well, read it out then.
Is it not easier to copy and paste?
Just read it.
Slowly.
I just remember it took forever to type this out yesterday.
Then reading it should be faster, right?
Well, no, because someone else has to type it.
Get on with it.
Don't worry about our touch typing skills. Just read it.
The force of gravity between 2 masses is proportional to the product of the 2 masses divided by the distance between the center of the masses squared.
I had that in there. You told me to delete it.
That was what Rumpus said, exactly.
You also had multiplied by the gravitational constant.
Sorry,
okay, read it real slow. I'm going to put it back
in the scientific prediction, we've got to multiply by gravity. The thing we're trying to get scientific validity for is part of the math.
I took that out.
Okay, have him say it again, Nathan,
no
slowly.
Problem. Repeat the alternative hypothesis, please.
Force of gravity between 2 masses.
Force of gravity between 2 masses. Okay, go ahead.
Is proportional to the product of the 2 masses divided by the distance
Hey, correct that typo on the word 2, John.
between the center of masses squared.
What? This is right. 2 masses. This is
between
correct.
2 masses. Like you have TO, it should be like the number, like 2, like TW.
The top line, John. Yeah.
There. Oh, right here.
Yeah, right there.
Sorry about that.
Good deal.
Sorry, could we change? I misworded it at the start. The force due to gravity at the start instead of of. My bad. Mistyped.
That's a little buttery, don't you think?
Well,
that's don't you think that's a little slippery statement? Forces due to gravity. I mean, that's kind of you know.
It seems scripted to
Well,
me.
no,
It's been
that-
scripted.
Yeah, that
is-
seems a little begging the question.
Hold on.
That
let's
is
just,
what-
But that's
well, no
okay.
problem,
That's okay.
no
Let him
problem.
go. Let him go.
Gravity-
Let's finish it.
Let's just finish it off.
Okay.
Go ahead, John.
Let me delete this. This is still.
So, I'm a bit confused. So, what's the independent variable?
He's assuming a cause in his alternative hypothesis by saying the force due to gravity.
That's okay. That's okay. Let him
That's
go.
okay,
Let him go.
yeah,
We're gonna
so-
get to that.
So, is gravity your independent variable then, according to this alternate hypothesis?
No.
It's not.
So-
It's due
sorry.
to.
Hold on. We're
Okay.
trying to prove gravity, are we not?
Yes.
Okay, then.
Yeah. The cause of mass attracting mass, according to your alternative hypothesis up here, is gravity. So the cause, the independent variable, is gravity. Has to be.
He
Unless
could
you
take
make
out the
another
words the
alternative
force
hypothesis.
due to and just put the gravity
hold on,
between two
everyone,
masses.
Shut up. I want to hear him. I want to hear the guest that's formulating it, Daniel. His alternative hypothesis has gravity as the independent variable. Correct, Daniel?
Mass is the independent variable.
Oh, sorry, no, mass attracting mass is your observed phenomena. That's your dependent variable, and the thing that you are trying to vary and manipulate to cause that would be the independent variable. And in your hypothesis, the force due to gravity, that would be your independent variable.
Yes. Unless you're changing your
hold on,
alternative.
John. I need Daniel to confirm this to us. I want him to say the word gravity so we can write it next to where it says independent variable as per his alternate hypothesis. Is that correct, Daniel? What you have just given us as your alternate hypothesis, you took a long time to write it. The independent variable in that hypothesis is gravity. Correct?
From what I've written there, yes. But
No buts. We're just establishing.
I would like.
Don't. No further follow-up
Back on
needed.
my change.
No further follow-up needed. We're just trying to write it down at this stage, so we can write the word gravity next to the words independent and variable. Okay, Daniel.
Sure.
Excellent. Only took 10 minutes, unlike Rumpus.
Yeah, that did take.
Okay. Now, hands up. Who can see a problem?
Ding, 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 ding.
Go ahead.
Gravity's caused by gravity. It's all
No, mass attracts mass is caused by gravity.
Oh, right. Sorry, Daniel. I'm glad you answered. So, tell us again.
That's based on what you said.
Daniel, tell us again what makes an independent variable an independent variable.
Don't know.
You said it earlier. I pointed out that it's also the cause. You also told me something before that. What did you say an independent variable was? You've already told us once. It's not a who's got a good memory quiz. The clue is in the name. Independent variable. There's a clue for you.
Change it.
Oh, sorry. Do you want to speak up a bit, Daniel?
Change it.
You can... What, sorry?
Change it.
Change it. Excellent. So this independent variable is going to be varied and manipulated. Let me know how you're going to vary and manipulate gravity.
We need a medic. He's bleeding.
Let's hear his answer. Let's hear his answer.
That is a potential independent variable. But to do the experiment, what you would do is have a mass as one of the independent variables.
Sorry, that's your phenomena. You're trying to cause that by varying and manipulating your independent variable. So let's not worry about what happens with the mass.
A variable.
Shh, listen up. Explain how you will. See where it says A?
I feel like this is just a
shut
really
up and listen. See where it says
useless
A?
process. It's not actually going to prove.
Now you're rumpusing me, you see? This is because you're losing. Don't be a bad loser like Rumpus. Just listen. It says A. Dot. Independent variable, open brackets, quote, the cause, / varied and manipulated, close brackets. And then it says gravity. So let's stick to that particular sentence and explain to me how you will vary and manipulate, not mass, gravity.
You can't vary and manipulate gravity itself.
Oh, so it's not variable and manipulatable by you, the researcher. So you can't vary and manipulate your independent variable. Do you know what that means?
It's not. If you look at the alternative hypothesis,
do you know what that means?
To the two
do you know what that means, Sunshine? This is the don't rumpus me. Listen. Do you know what that means?
What? Independent variable?
No. You've just said I can't vary and manipulate it, and I'm asking if you understand the consequences of that.
Daniel, if it helps, the Rumpus claims that you are wrong, Daniel. Gravity is the dependent variable, he says. You can manipulate it by increasing and decreasing the mass. To Rumpus.
So let's just get that clear for the audience. According to Rumpus, the observed phenomena, the thing that we will go out and observe in the natural world, is gravity. What a complete bonehead. What a complete retard.
What colour is gravity?
So let's just insult Rumpus a little bit more. Let's think of a few insults for what that was as a statement. I would say retarded. What would you say, John?
I'm speechless.
Yeah. It's left John dumbfounded. Any other names for what that would be, saying that our observed phenomena, the thing we go into the natural world and observe, is gravity? Anybody else got any comments on that?
Battery.
Intentional obfuscation.
Well, the idea of mass attracting mass is essentially gravity. I mean, it's not...
Sorry, we've gone through your formula.
You're just stating that.
Daniel, we still haven't had an answer for my question. Do you understand the implications of you not being able to vary and manipulate your independent variable? What's the consequences of that, Daniel?
You're probably going to say it's not a scientific process or something like that.
That's correct, Daniel. You don't have science for this gravity you claim.
And Daniel, why would we say that? Why?
Daniel, Rumpus is going to get you.
Rumpus gets everyone.
Come on, Daniel. Let's hear Daniel say it. Why would we say that? Why? Work it out.
I don't need to labour the point. Sorry, we've established it. So we're back to the gas pressure without a container, Daniel. So we've firmly established, contrary to your assertion that you have gravity holding the gas pressure onto the Earth, we don't. You don't have scientific validity for this religious belief, and we don't have religious beliefs here. So we'll go back to that question that we originally asked about the gas pressure without a container.
Okay, but there is no other explanation.
Sorry, Daniel, you have a religious belief about outer space. And I've asked you, having discussed both of your religious beliefs about entropy and your religious beliefs about gravity, now I'm asking the question again, having took a very long time to take you through it. It's been tedious. So, now we've established firmly that you don't have science for gravity. I'd like to ask you again, how do you have gas pressure without a container?
Nathan, 1 second before you say that. What he did provide, he provided an affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy as his hypothesis just previously. If P then Q, Q therefore P. If gravity exists, P, larger masses attract smaller masses, Q. We observe larger masses attract smaller masses, Q, therefore gravity, therefore P. Affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy.
The full gift right there.
Thank you. Sorry for any interruption. Go ahead.
So, we've established firmly you have no scientific evidence of gravity, which was your explanation, despite us asking you on 3 separate occasions not to piss it in our faces. You did. Now we've taken you through it in baby steps. You don't have scientific validity for that assertion. So I'd like to know how, in your fairy tale world of a ball Earth in a vacuum of space, how we have gas pressure, we all accept that bit, without a container. Given that entropy definitely takes place in open systems, Daniel. Take your time.
I don't know an explanation other than use of gravity.
Sorry, what did you just say? Did you just piss it in our faces again? Don't tell us what you don't know. Don't tell us just because your fairy tale religious belief says it's gravity that you don't know any other explanation. Tell us about what does explain it, because gravity does not. You don't have any scientific validity to that assertion. It is a religious belief. So let's get on to the former religious belief, the vacuum of space. You believe, religious belief, that there's a vacuum of space. Now, I want to know how I'm still breathing, given that your religious belief dictates that there's no barrier between us and the vacuum. How am I still breathing, Daniel, given that we have entropy? Hello? How am I still breathing? Why hasn't the entropy taken effect, given that there's a vacuum there?
I don't know the answer to everything. I don't.
So why do you believe it then?
That's fine. I'll leave.
Why do you believe it then? That's fine. I understand. You don't know why you have a religious belief in this shit. So why have you got a religious belief? Why would you still assert it?
Well, plants like electrolytes.
I want to hear Daniel's answer. Why do you still believe in this fairy tale of a vacuum existing next to the gas pressure we believe? Why would you believe that?
Because it does work. It makes sense.
Sorry, what do you mean it does work?
Okay, wait.
It does not work. It defies entropy. We've just taken you through this. It doesn't work, Daniel. Are you slow? Sorry, are you going to tell me again that it works?
If I say gravity here and you say useless, then you can't actually make any progress.
Sorry,
ever.
You haven't proven gravity. We've got
without
two,
going through the whole
Daniel,
process,
we've got two
never
religious
actually get to
beliefs. The first religious belief is space. Now, when we say how does space work, given we have entropy, your answer is gravity. So, you're on to a second religious belief. Your first religious belief fails, and your second religious belief fails. So, why would you have this religious belief?
I haven't seen a valid alternative.
So, given that it's all you know, it must be true. Okay. Wow. How pathetic.
Can you show me
Sorry, that's pathetic. That's pathetic.
Why would you turn it around on him?
That's absolutely pathetic.
So
because it's all you know,
that would mean that it doesn't work.
There's a scene in a film called Billy Madison where the teacher asks him about why the crocodile has so many teeth.
Wait.
And Billy Madison explains that his mom told him that the crocodile's got all those teeth and is so unhappy because he hasn't got a toothbrush. And it's all Billy Madison knows. But all the children laugh at Billy Madison because despite the fact that that's all Billy Madison knows, it's not true! It doesn't make logical sense. And like gravity, and like your fairy tale of outer space, it makes no sense. It has no evidence, just belief. So we're saying, why would you maintain this belief given that there's no backing for it?
Nathan, let's tell Daniel that there are religious people here. For example, Arwin he states that he has a religious belief. But you see, Daniel, the difference is...
What?
You said you have a religious background. No?
We're getting sidetracked.
Excuse me?
No. Listen, there's nothing wrong. What I want to say is there's nothing wrong with belief, Daniel. But you can't go and claim it as science. If you want to
wait a second. He not only has a belief in something, he has a belief in something that is a direct violation of the second law of thermodynamics. Let's get that straight.
Right. Well, I mean, there's in and of itself, there's nothing wrong with belief as long as we can man up and admit it is my belief, it is my faith, I like it. Good for you.
Can somebody cue up the Gravity song that IRM usually plays? I think this moment calls for at least a moment of gravity.
As much as I might
Listen,
I want to agree with your sentiment, Eric, but there is a problem. Here, there is a problem with beliefs. Here, we ask for scientific validity to things. So, no, there is a very real problem with that. I'm not interested in his religious belief in gravity.
Right, I get that.
I'm not interested in his religious belief in space. What I am interested in is scientific evidence of any of these things that are taught to children on a daily basis.
Well, it seems like he's just admitted it. And I would like to hear him say, yeah, it is a belief. And then good. I think we'd all be happy if he just says, listen, I have faith in it. It's my belief system. I don't have evidence. I don't have
Fair enough. That's fair enough. So, Daniel,
can you do that, Daniel?
Do you accept that you have a religious belief?
I can accept that I don't understand the specific scientific process for gravity, so I understand, or I am happy with its explanation of everything that I see around me, and that's it.
Sorry, it doesn't have an explanation. It has a parlor trick and some mathematics. That's not scientific validity. That's as good as Mystic Meg telling you something. Do you not realise that?
A parlor trick?
We've been wanting you to give us the explanation for half an hour, and you haven't done it. That's what we've been asking you for.
Well, I said when I joined, I do not know the answer to everything. I don't know the exact scientific process that went round to find that gravity existed.
We didn't ask you whether you had the answer for everything. You came on here and claimed the evidence for gravity, right? So let's get on what you actually said.
He actually said the evidence for gravity is gravity.
Yeah.
Right.
In other words, Eric, you see, we weren't at that stage. This is, he still thinks the explanation given is acceptable, despite the fact we've just ripped it apart, set it on fire, and pissed on it. He still thinks it's okay.
No, and he's still very far from admitting that he's part of a religion, just because it's not the mainstream saying that. Well, science is a religion. No,
I think John was generous at first in asking him what his level of credential was, because I really, at this point, have a hard time believing that he's thrown up the tasseled hat and seen it, stop in midair. I don't think he's had that moment in life.
I'm on my way to that.
Okay, so you haven't had the moment where you throw your hat in the air and it stops there and you can see that gravity's full of shit.
It stops there, but then it also falls back down to Earth.
You like to dance, don't you, Daniel?
Daniel, gravity is an aberration. Different elements that just happen to give a suggestion that it's a unified whole, but it's not.
All right, sing it with me, Daniel. I might have gravity on my side, but something's holding us high. Got the potential to fly.
Does anybody think that Daniel's got any closer to accepting that it's just a religious belief he's got in this shit?
At one point, he did kind of admit he doesn't know, but then he had to throw his 2 cents in.
Then let's just do the prayer and get it over with, for God's sake. Let's just do the freaking prayer, give him his blessing, and then let him sod off into the sunset.
Do we give you your blessing, Daniel?
Could I ask John?
Spiritus Sanctus Gravitus.
Hold on. No, he might need some more coaxing.
You don't know the prayer? You haven't been keeping up to date.
Sorry, John. Do you want to just
I'm
read
new
out?
to this flat Earth argument thing.
Well, you're clearly new to the globe Earth argument because you haven't presented one.
John.
Well, my idea of gravity is that things fall down.
Oh, really? That's fascinating.
That's a third grader's understanding of gravity.
Right, that's lovely.
But it's Daniel, it's a conceptualization. It's a conceptualization.
A minute
it's
ago,
not
we had scientific.
actually a thing.
A minute ago, it was science. Now it's his idea. Wonderful, Daniel. We'll build some theories on your ideas, shall we?
I've got a question for Daniel.
This is an anniversary gift for the show.
I've got one question for Daniel, followed by one question for John. Daniel, if you have one variable in an experiment, is that a correlation or a cause? In contrast to 3 variables.
1 variable in total.
Yeah, if you only have the 1 variable, is that a correlation or is it a cause?
1 independent variable, be specific.
Sorry, independent variable, you're right.
Well, that's... Oh, what? Okay, yeah, 1 independent variable.
Yeah, does that give you a correlation or does it give you a cause?
Oh, thinking.
It gives you a cause?
Yeah.
Right, so correct. John, my question to you is from the Rumpus. He says, in the case of 1 variable, it is just a correlation, you utter moron. For all you know, invisible green could be the cause.
Utter.
Yeah, he only said it once this time. But John, the Rumpus thinks that 1 variable is just a correlation. Is he correct?
I'm speechless.
Yeah, I'm speechless. Daniel, explain to Rumpus why he's wrong.
What independent variable?
Yeah, one variable.
Multiple variables with gravity.
In the case of 1 variable, Rumpus believes it's just a correlation.
It might help
Daniel.
if it comes from me, Anthony. So if we have,
Well,
you've already answered the question. If you have 1 variable, you have a cause, correct, Daniel?
That changes the force of gravity.
Yeah, 1 variable, independent variable.
There are 3 different variables that you can change.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. In a scientific experiment, if you have 1 variable, you have the cause. Correct, Daniel? Not a correlation, a causation. Correct? You've already answered yes.
Yes, sure.
Come on, Daniel.
I'm not ready.
Right. So, if you have 1 variable, you have a cause. If you have multiple variables, you have a correlation.
So therefore, Daniel, you want to tell Rumpus that he's wrong? Because he said that it's just a correlation if it's 1 cause.
Oh, look,
Do we
he's
want
in chat right
do we
now.
want to go over this?
Hey, Anthony, and everybody else.
Sorry, Rumpus.
Who wants to take
I'm
a
not
bet
really
that the globe religion is going to splinter into 2 different churches like we saw with the Catholic Church?
Nathan, do you want to go over this? Do we want to go over this complex hypothesis right here? I have it set up.
Yes, definitely. It's on screen.
Okay, sure. And it's screen shared?
Yeah, everyone can see it.
Okay. From the medical dictionary, a complex hypothesis examines the relationship between 2 or more independent variables and 2 or more dependent variables. This nonsense right here is employed in, like I said, epidemiological studies. They are correlations. Remember, correlation does not equal causation. From Cornell, epidemiological studies can never prove causation. That is, it cannot prove that a specific risk factor actually causes the disease being studied. Epidemiological evidence can only show that this risk factor is associated, correlated with a higher incidence of the disease in the population exposed to that risk factor. The higher the correlation, the more certain the association, but it cannot prove causation. Thanks for your ear. Have a nice day.
So
It's statistical trial and error.
Before Nathan rounds out, Daniel, you still there?
Yes.
Could you tell me your number 1 evidence for living on a space monkey spinning cartoon ball? Your number 1.
I would say the sunset and sunrise.
Sorry, that the sun setting. So not the earth turning, but the sun moving over your head.
The
Contradiction to
goes
heliocentricity.
beyond the horizon.
The sun doesn't move, and we move around the sun according to heliocentric fantasy.
Yes, I understand that, but we still call it a sunset because
we get so you're the sun coming up, the sun appearing and disappearing on a daily basis is proof of fall. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So equally, if you went and got in, let's say you were born in a forest, right? And every single day you get up, the lights come up, and all around you are trees. They're there every single time you wake up. Does that make you a tree?
Keith balsa wood?
This question.
Yeah, it's funny, Daniel, because that's literally your logic.
Well, yeah, okay. My logic behind the sunset is the Earth. Would you agree that a horizon is always below the horizontal from your vision?
The horizon is the hold on, Daniel. The horizon is an apparent position where the sun, or where the sky meets the ground. An apparent position. It's not a physical place.
If you look over the sea,
you're going to acknowledge what I've just said, or are you just going to completely
always
ignore
below
it?
the horizontal.
Sorry, are you going to acknowledge what I've just said, or completely ignore it?
He'll ignore it.
So, did you hear what I just said?
Nope.
Let's see if he did. Let's see how dumb he is. Can he listen when he? Let's see if he can. What did I just say about what the horizon actually is, Daniel?
I didn't listen. I asked, could you repeat it, please?
No problem. The horizon is an apparent position where the sky meets the ground. It is not a physical location. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, then.
If you look, can I continue? Yeah.
It depends. Are you about to tell us to look at an apparent position somewhere that will change depending on our position relative to things? Or
why does it matter if it's apparent or not?
Oh, it doesn't?
Because if it's apparent, it's not real.
Anyway, if you look at the sea, as far out as you can see, would you agree that the sea is always below the horizontal of your vision?
Sorry, what the hell are you talking about?
I'm just saying.
What does that even mean?
If you draw a perpendicular line to the Earth, and you look at the sea is always below that line, right?
No.
What? So
when you look out over the ocean meets the sky, for God's sakes. Give me a goddamn break.
The ocean is always below the parallel line to the Earth, right?
Sorry, you're talking about an apparent position.
No, I'm not.
And you're saying it's always somewhere. You're saying listen, you're telling us that it always has a specific designated place. It's an apparent position. How many times have I got to say it? Are you dumb? Do you know what an apparent thing is? As opposed to a physical thing.
I'm not talking about the horizon.
Yeah, it's not a physical thing. It's not always anything. You understand that?
Oh my God.
It is always horizontal and level.
If you... I don't know, I have to ask this question several times.
Please, well, you've been asked for your best sphere proof. And so far, we've got look at an apparent position in the distance. That's what we've got so far.
I'm not. I'm saying, if you look parallel to the Earth, over the sea, parallel, intersecting with your eye line, the sea is always below that line. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And what's your point?
Fine.
Is this really your number one proof of a globe?
Yes, because then if you look at the sun, that is apparently, according to you, a few thousand miles above that.
What do you mean according to me? What do you mean according to me? You find me a quote where I've said that.
All flat Earth models.
Sorry, excuse me. Find me a quote.
Flat Earth. Oh, there we go. Flat Earth.
Listen to me. Find me a quote where I've said that.
The sun is.
What you just said. I
say
the sun
is a physical, literal location anywhere. It's an apparent visual phenomena.
So the position of this apparent light in the sky and the position of an apparent position where the sky meets the ground, you're going to tell us that those two apparent positions of things prove something. Are you a bonehead?
He thinks he's debating the Flat Earth Society, and he doesn't understand.
I'm sorry, this is called the Flat Earth debate, right?
Yeah, and you're telling us about things in the sky, apparent positions of lines in the distance. What the hell kind of crap is this? Do you want to tell us about your actual proof we live on a sphere, as opposed to apparent lines in the distance?
Daniel, we are so sorry that you watched all the fake Flat Earth videos and you came here thinking you had ammunition. It's sad.
So, I don't know what you believe then.
We're not asking you.
We don't use beliefs.
God, how many times have we got to say it to him?
I don't know what you think you know then.
We're asking
Well,
you what
I
your
do use
proof
beliefs, but I
of the
don't
globe
base
is. Your
my
number one proof
foundational
of the
reality
globe
on
is
it.
to look at an apparent position of a light in the sky versus an apparent position where the ground meets the sky. That's what you've told us so far.
Yeah, they wouldn't intersect. See, my belief was that you believed in a flat Earth, and they would not intersect.
Because now you're making beliefs
No matter
about
how-
beliefs and actually using beliefs to straw man. You have straw man beliefs. I mean, that's just
Well,
incredible.
I didn't realize I was straw manning.
No,
I did not
we
realize.
don't believe it is flat. We can determine it is flat by looking at it.
But that's irrelevant. We can jack up that it's not a ball. We're not saying it's
Yeah,
flat.
you know-
We're saying it's not a psycho supersonic space
Let's be
testicle
honest here.
spearheaded fantasy.
Let's be honest, Daniel. You know what we're doing here? Mostly, we're ripping your religion to shreds.
Without making any assertions.
Without your own an alternative.
Model.
Right.
Please say
That's
model.
how it
Please say
works.
it.
Well, I
Please
have
say it.
models, but I don't claim any validity to it.
Or
Please say
Arwen will get
model.
jacked
Come on,
up
Daniel.
just like you.
Yeah, we're not going to fall. See, we're here to get out of the trap. Because we used to be like you.
Oh,
Okay?
so you're very careful not to claim a model because you know that that'll
Oh,
just get
I
picked
think
apart.
Models
Then
are
we
pseudoscience.
turn out
Yes,
getting our
sir.
asses
Yeah.
handed to us.
Models are pseudoscience.
And the reification fallacy. And if you want flat Earth proofs, I have just completed an entire presentation on it for the 5th time.
Shout
Go
out to
back and
Dicker.
see it.
Shout out to Track.
Daniel, I've been rooting for you the whole time, man.
Who was that?
I mean, he is
Gosh.
a relatively nice guy. He's definitely.
Yeah,
I try not
he's
to
very
interrupt.
nice. He's very nice, man.
I don't know everything, so I can't be the
Yeah,
best.
but come on, Daniel.
Yeah.
You're stating the obvious. Why? Come on, you're not a child. Why do you? What kind of man says, "Well, I don't have"? I mean, that's obvious. Nobody does, Daniel. What do you think that's going to give you some insulation to when you get caught in BS? I mean, why do you even make that statement? I don't know have the answers to everything. Well, who does? Come on, that's a useless statement.
Without any answers, while we're saying we make no claims, you do. You think space is real. You think gravity is real. Despite the fact you've got no evidence to back these things and we've ripped them apart, you still will go away believing in them, right?
I would say that some evidence for the existence of space and the Earth being a ball.
What?
Would
Like
be
what?
The
What
live
is the
stream
evidence
from
for your
the
space?
ISS.
The only evidence is him saying
Hold on,
it.
hold on.
That's
Let him make another
'cause
claim.
I don't believe that they are lying to everyone as a big.
Sorry,
Have you
don't worry about
do
that.
you have a collected space sample?
He's just said
A
I've got other
a chamber that
evidence.
would open
No
up to
problem.
space
Let's
and-
hear it then. What other
Taken
evidence
that?
do you have, Daniel?
Well, NASA's footage and pictures.
Oh, that's an appeal to authority, Daniel. Come on, you know this doesn't work in law. It doesn't work in science, and it doesn't work in reality.
You can't prove air pressure or the lack thereof through visuals only, because there's a funny thing about air. It's transparent.
I can't quite believe what's just happened. So
You
Daniel,
know it's real because it looks so
hold on,
fake.
hold on, Daniel. Sorry, did you just say pictures from NASA? And where
Yes.
would they be taking those pictures from?
ISS.
And where's that? Is it in space?
Space. Well,
Didn't we just go through this with you, Daniel? Man, you have a short memory. Space can't exist. It defies the second law of thermodynamics. Unless you apply your religious belief of gravity to your religious belief of space, it can't exist. You stupid
Even then, it
idiot.
doesn't work.
So you're
So
saying the
you
pictures
think the
taken...
live stream's fake?
Daniel, listen. You're saying the pictures taken from the fantasy medium of space. Is that what your evidence is? Space isn't real, Dumbo.
No, he just said the live. He said, so you think the live stream is fake? No, it's a live stream. But what is it showing you, Daniel? People.
A screensaver.
Yeah.
Set. People on
okay,
wires.
Okay, I'm gonna drop out. My brain, I cannot get over how much you have to think is is fake and how many people you have to.
Look at how much
Welcome to the arena.
you're having to use. You're having to employ so much belief. It's sickening.
Sorry, we're not saying.
No,
sorry, Daniel, that wasn't our argument, Daniel. Daniel, that's not our argument. We said, how do you have gas pressure? We're all breathing it, every last one of us. How do you have gas pressure next to a container? What we did not say was, all the people at NASA are lying to you. That's not what we said. We took it apart based on its scientific and logical validity, not based on who asserts it. So don't strawman us. That wasn't our argument. Did you not understand our argument, Daniel?
I understand your argument.
Right. So stop. So you understand that the medium of space, the one you've just claimed gives you your evidence, cannot be real. Don't laugh. This isn't funny.
Just because I don't
listen to me, you
No,
stupid little prick. No, you listen to me. Listen. Right, listen. You laugh. They're educating children with this crap, and you think it's funny. I don't think this is funny. So I'll ask you again. I will ask you again. Do you not understand our arguments? The medium of space cannot be real. Do you understand?
I think he needs the liquid cardboard, Nathan. Give him the liquid cardboard.
That is incorrect.
No, it is correct. Even if you assume that gravity were to be real, then according to those foundational theories, whether they be real or not, it could not work. And they don't talk about this. They just give you this imagining of how it works and completely disregarding scientific law by all standards.
I'm still on the stage where we've said what's your best scientific evidence of this stuff, and he's asserted that pictures from a medium that cannot exist are his evidence. So what gives? Didn't you pay attention to the last half an hour?
Go to college? That's embarrassing.
Didn't you pay attention to the last half an hour? Why would you assert that pictures taken from a medium that cannot possibly exist is evidence of anything other than total fakery? If I disprove the medium of the ISS, yeah, that ipso facto proves that the ISS is bunk. They're lying to you.
And you go through and I would say go through and prove the thing, but I need
pictures are not evidence for anything related to gas. Why aren't you answering me?
Why is it that Arwin just starts up a new conversation? Why aren't you answering me? The space bit doesn't conform with reality. You only have a religious belief about that part of your narrative. So why would you assert that pictures from a fairy tale medium are proof of something, other than that they're lying about the pictures themselves by the fact that they're taking them from a fairy tale medium?
I'm sorry, I need to go and make some food. Do you want to let Rumpus in?
No, please, no.
No, I want to know the answer to my question. You're still here. Everyone answers for you, helping you along rather than letting you just answer the question. Why would you assert? Why would you assert as evidence pictures from a fairy tale medium?
Because it's not fairy tale. I mean, it's simple as.
Sorry, we went through how it was. Sorry, did you not pay attention to the last half an hour of discussion? We just went through how it cannot be possible because of entropy that works in an open system, because of your religious belief of gravity not having any validity to it whatsoever. So what part of that didn't you listen to? Why are you now asserting that space can be real? It can't.
Oh, the power of social engineering from childhood.
You go through this whole process of explaining in so specific detail the scientific process and this kind of thing that it just gets too confusing for me to follow. So I'm going to let
somebody who believes in NASA saying that what we're saying is too confusing and complicated, that we make things confusing and complicated, and you use NASA as your example of proof. The most overcomplicating berserker explanation source in existence.
Well, I understand what NASA says.
But we're too complicated. Okay, there we go. I love it.
Because you go through this extremely long process that doesn't really mean anything.
Sorry, we go through the scientific method to test people's assertions that they have scientific backing for things. Precisely what you did. You claimed,
come on, guys, NASA's simple.
You claimed gravity was science. Guys. You claimed gravity was science. We explained to you how it wasn't. So now you're left with no science for your assertion. Then you told us that it was your belief. So are you telling us that your beliefs in stuff are reality? Because they're not. They're just your beliefs. Your religious beliefs. We took you through this for an hour, right? I was still not getting an answer. We've said your best ball proof, and you've said pictures from a fairy tale medium that isn't possible, that I have no scientific backing for. I thought I did, I said I did, but I don't. So why would you assert that that's proof of something? Pictures from space, from a fairy tale medium, aren't proof of anything. What it does prove is that they're lying about the pictures, because they can't possibly be taking pictures. They're in a fairy tale medium.
Explain to him liquid cardboard, Nathan. He doesn't understand that disproving the medium disproves everything about it.
When you asked my best proof for globe Earth, I said sunset, sunrise. There is a very complex and in-depth model of what the stars should look like at each point, and that is a sphere.
So what?
Models are
pseudoscience. That's a reification fallacy. Don't you pay attention? Reification fallacy. Are you just going to talk over us? You've explained it. I listened.
Know exactly what stars are above.
You explained it, and I listened. We took that apart too. Oh, you're just going to rumpus us. I thought you had to go.
I do have to go. You keep talking to me.
Yeah, because you keep offering reification fallacies. So your sun's number one. It's not a physical thing. Number one, you don't have physical objects to look at. Number two, your model is not reality.
This is ridiculous. I'm gonna go. I'll come back another time. Don't worry.
Hold on, before you go, why? Why? You don't know anything. Why would you come back? You don't belong in this discussion.
It's quite entertaining.
Entertaining to take an idiot by the hand and lead him through stuff he doesn't understand. What are you going to come back for? You've got no place in this discussion. None.
Fine. I won't come back. I'll let Rumpus do it all then. You can deal with him.
Do what you like.
After you throw your hat in the air, then come back and talk to us.
What is it you feel you offer here? What is it you offer here? What is it you think you offer? Other than your religious belief?
What can I offer?
Yeah, other than your religious belief about stuff, what do you offer?
Yeah, not much, to be honest.
Right. So why would you want to come back?
It's quite funny.
What, to be humiliated? So you're basically a masochist?
I'm not being humiliated. I listen,
yes,
not to people.
You told us you had science. You don't. Are you going to tell us again that you've got science for gravity?
Hang on, Nathan. He's like the guy at the party who passed out drunk and then got a dick drawn on his face. And because he doesn't know the dick is drawn on his face, he's not embarrassed. But we're all laughing because he's got a dick on his face. But because he doesn't know he has a dick on his face, he refuses to admit that it's funny.
Well, I am saying it is funny.
But you don't know why it's funny. You don't know why it's funny. It's funny because you have a dick on your face.
Literally, yeah.
The first question you asked was,
and with that, I'm going to say, first and foremost, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully sharing this debate. And of course, a massive thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible. If you hated the show, you know exactly what to do. But if you liked it, maybe consider sharing it with a friend or subscribing if you've not done so already. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
You there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, hang around.
Yeah. Good show, man.
What's beautiful is Daniel doesn't even realize that he was slowly raped for an hour there.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't realize that we're laughing because he's got a dick on his face. He thinks it's not funny because he doesn't see the dick. Somebody give the motherfucker a mirror.
That was the best analogy ever.
I'm gonna go. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Daniel.
Sorry,
bye,
Thanks,
Felicia.
Daniel.
Bye.
Thanks, Daniel.
You know. Wait, guys, come on. You know he's studying something.
He needs some rectal healing time, guys. Come on.
He's studying some mathematical.
He just doesn't see the dick on his face.
I just see it as masochism.
Oh,
Yeah, that was pretty bad, man. I kind of feel sorry for him, to be honest.
Not really. I'm pretty sure he is the guy from the comments.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
All right. Hey, it was good. It was a good show, gentlemen. Go ahead and have a good one. I'm going to take my leave of you.
Cheers, John. See you later.
Shout out to Tiger Woods.
Peace out, John. Thanks for your information.
Shout out to Elmer Fudd.
bye, guys.
All right.
Retracted.
Shout out to Betty Breadmaker.
Betty Breadmaker and Joe Coffee. Yeah. All right, gentlemen.
Dude, that was a good show.
Nathan can be truly cruel. I think he gets a kick out of it.
No
You
shit.
think I get a kick out of it?
Nathan's
I
just
don't.
passionate, man.
To be honest, I'll be honest, right? I'll level with you. This makes my blood boil when it comes to people like that, because he's going through the education system, and that terrifies me. I've got to consider my kids' education, and this shit that they teach kids makes my blood boil.
We don't want dicks on our kids' faces.
Exactly. I don't want a penis draw on my daughter's face.
No, but you know, I think they're going to splinter off into different religions.
You think
Of course
so?
they are. They're already doing that.
Well, they're fighting amongst themselves. I was shocked. This 2 days in a row it's happened now. So you've had baller on baller action.
Rumpus versus M. Scott Veach versus freaking Daniel. I mean, it's just been a shit fest of baller on baller destruction over the last like 5 years.
This is why it's good
They're
to use their own
starting
science.
It used to be the cases that it used to be that the flatties fought in the trenches amongst themselves.
It's the baller apocalypse, guys.
Yeah, they're fighting amongst themselves in the trenches.
It's baller Ragnarok.
Before I go, the
Rune.
answer. Hey Rune, how you doing, man? I don't know if that is Rune. Is that really Rune? I don't know.
I would imagine so. Grr, mic muted.
So when John was presenting, and with the baller saying that entropy, the second law of thermodynamics, doesn't apply to isolated systems.
That was amazing.
What was that supposed to mean? What was that supposed to counteract?
That there is an exception possible to basically get the Earth thing through. Atmosphere and pressure. It's basically like, normally it does work specifically like this, but there is an exception. The one exception of the Earth without a continuum. That's why it's there.
But don't you just love how he's laughing and he thinks he's laughing with us as we're laughing at him? He's laughing, thinking he's a part of the joke, and literally so thick he doesn't realize he is literally the incarnation of the joke. And just keeps literally doubling and tripling and quadrupling down, making it worse for him and funnier for us, just drawing dick after dick after dick. I mean, now at this point, like, fucking his friends' kids are coming in and drawing dicks on his face and stuff. I mean, it's just a lot of dicks on the face.
I think he was sent in by Rumpus.
It was also 9-on-1 too, so
that was like 3-on-1. Everybody almost kept quiet. I couldn't resist. I mean, I did want to reach through the internet and choke him.
But when you're asked a lot of questions like that on different topics, it does kind of make your head spin.
No, he was given one question, and he was asked the same question over and over and over again, and in different ways, just to try to extract the goddamn answer to the single question for the assertion that he came on the show and presented to begin with.
He was hoping I was going to give him the answer or something.
And that's very different
gonna work.
when you see a Flat Earth go on one of these like non sequitur shows where you've got three guys throwing you off in the weeds in different directions. Where like, I don't know. I think we were just trying to.
We kept it on one thing. We wanted him to answer for himself.
It's a carnival. It's tomato.
Answer for his own assertion.
Non sequitur is a tomato throwing contest. It's ridiculous. It's not.
I don't know, to me, it's like the kid is definitely studying something in mathematics related, and it's just, man, he thought he could come out like, oh, math is science. I mean, he's definitely one of those guys.
No, he wasn't even like near. I mean, sounded like Rumpus's kid. I mean, as far as like he was embarrassing Rumpus. No. He wasn't even smart enough to be on the panel, for God's sakes, in dealing with this shit. He didn't even understand the base of the topicality.
He was still in exploring. I could hear it. He was still
how old do you think he was?
Things.
Well, he says he's in his second year. He says he has 2 more years of university. So I'll give him, say, 21 right now, like maybe 22. And but the thing is, he was not understanding that he didn't have a basic understanding of the heliocentric premise. He didn't actually understand his own model and just so story, and that's what's the most embarrassing and frustrating.
No, because
these people show up representing the ball, but they don't even understand their model, and we can be ballers better than they can. And I mean, it's just stupid.
He just trusted the consensus.
And but he doesn't even know the story well. It's like he got bad grades,
out that there's much more to it and being a fool.
But it's like he got bad grades in standardized education. Like he wasn't good in their studies. Like he didn't do well at baller. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Maybe it's just not brought up, any of this.
No, I don't know. He sounds like someone that's probably studying or pretty good at like trigonometry or stuff. I don't know. He's probably something math.
Well, you're giving him too much credit,
we could try to test him on that. Just try to test where his actual detailed knowledge is.
I mean, critical thinking. I mean, having a
let's just have him get on the show and present his screen basically, or just on his icon, and while we run the show tomorrow, and he can take a Mensa test during the first hour, the first debate, and he'll finish it in about 40 minutes. Then we'll have his IQ right there.
Okay, that's actually kind of funny. Why not?
No, that's cold, man. Giving him an IQ test.
Seriously, for God's sakes, prove your beef, kid. Prove your beef.
Poor guy. I almost feel bad for them.
Right, so the United States is still there?
Me?
Huh?
I'm still here.
You saw who didn't show up today, Nathan, is a banjo player. He knew that this was a no man's land for him today.
Yeah, I think it's just a no man's land for Globus in general. I mean, occasionally people like that Daniel guy I just taunt in the chat and just say, look, you're spouting all this stuff in the comments, and I haven't got enough time to respond to half the crap that people put in there. And I'm just like, just join. Join, explain it to us. And then sure enough, here he is today. No, I'm not the guy from the comments. Oh, really? What, the guy that I literally only hours ago told to join? And John spoke to in a comment only hours ago. That's not you. I don't know of any other Daniel in the comments either.
I'm sorry, but the current biggest bitch in Ball Earth is M. Scott Beach, though. I mean, I think we would all have to agree that the freaking son of Daddy wasn't there. I think he's got to be the biggest bitch of the Flat Earth debate right now, because he's got the most alleged access to the sources and whatnot, and yet where is he? He's a freaking a little chatmeister at best. Panel fearing, debate denying, fight running. I mean, it's just I think we need to highlight the bitch assery of M. Scott Beach. I mean, talk about somebody who had no guts.
M. Scott Beach, he says that he won't join because it's the panel is not fair, and of course he mentions Nathan's mute button.
And guess what? As a full-grown man, I don't accept that. If we're going to be seventh graders and hand-holding and we're parenting, then we can hand-hold and dick coddle. But this isn't dick coddle debate. This is flat Earth debate. His daddy claims to be an astronaut. He can get in his daddy's boots and walk the hell into the flat Earth debate and open his man mouth. Or he can be Astro Bitch.
So the mute button's now going to be referred to as the rumpus button.
Yeah,
so if you ever want to mention it, it's the rumpus button.
It's rumpus control.
Just to rebrand the idea that you're muting people, we'll take ownership of it and we'll call it the rumpus button instead.
You know, we need to. Who remembers especially America? I don't know if you had in the UK, romper room. It was like this childhood. It's like just romper room.
Rumpty Dumpty?
No, romper room. Like, you know, romping around. It was like rumpus. Oh lordy!
I used to call him Rumpty Dumpty. I thought it was pretty funny.
Rumpty Dumpty.
Because once he falls apart, nothing can put him back together again.
Did any of you see my the Skype background I trialed? It was on the live stream.
Which one?
Their watch page. Did any of you see that when John was on?
No. Oh, no. I saw John on, but I didn't see the background.
The CGI.
No, it's because it's what's broadcast to the audience. So what I've got is, it took me hours to figure it out. So I've got a backdrop that's sound responsive that actually looks nice as opposed to just bloody bars going up and down or some crappy visualizer. So I'm recording it now for the after show one, the one on my second channel. But when anybody on the panel talks, there's nothing. It's just a mountainscape. So now when we're talking, nothing happens. But when I have someone on Skype, their voice responds and it makes a visualization of like a face appear. It's really cool. Can I just because I want it to happen? Any chance I can call you on Skype, Anthony, just so I can show it happening? You drop, I'll call you on Skype.
Okay.
I thought it was so sad that as I was trying to explain to the kid through the, little story of, getting a passing out drunk and having a dick drawn on your face, even with that explanation, he still wasn't getting it. And I thought that was the most generous explanation, that I could have ever given him, honestly. I think that was the very, very generous and honestly pretty coddling of me. And he still didn't get it. And so, that's when I start saying, you're not smart enough to be here. Get the hell out of here.
Maybe his generation don't do that. I don't know. Is that a thing? Is that a thing with his generation?
That will always be a thing. It always has been a thing since before there was pins. They were freaking. You'd get a dick carved into your cheek with a dagger.
You got a thing with dicks in faces at the moment, haven't you, Rasta?
I'm sorry, but he just was literally embodying the guy who passes out drunk, gets dicks drawn on his face, and it goes walking back out into the party. When he wakes up, everybody's laughing, and he starts laughing too. Ha ha ha! This is a hell of a party, and everybody's laughing, and he thinks he's laughing with them, and he just doesn't get that he's standing there with dicks on his face, and it's just like, damn, son, go look in the fucking mirror, man. Like, check yourself, man. Because it's like he insults himself, then he re-insults himself, and then he re-insults himself.
Oh, that's interesting. So when Anthony's gone on hold on the Skype call, then the audio doesn't respond, whereas when he's connected on the call, both your voices and his voices do it. So I've done something wrong. That's annoying. Although, is it annoying? I suppose if both of them are reactive sound-wise, I don't suppose it matters, does it?
There's no negative sound issues coming through.
Not that you know what I'm talking about because you can't see it, but there we go. The audience will see it. Not that there is an audience right now.
Okay, so that's what's playing now, Nathan?
Well, you can't see it. Let's just have a look. Just see if I might be able to show you. Yeah, I can can just show my whole screen, can't I? Well, this isn't exactly what it'll look like because it's framed differently. So, can you see my mouse?
Yes.
Right. So normally the edges would end here, so you wouldn't see these stupid blobs. But I was okay with those because you don't see them when it's framed when it goes out as a broadcast.
You know it's real because it looks so fake.
Well, yeah, but it's cool. I mean, if Anthony comes back and talks to us in a minute, you'll actually get to see it. So when he's got us on hold at the moment.
You know, we can get Anthony's face up in one of those blobs, and then like the red Tesla with Felony Musk smoking that blunt, like in the other blob. It's aces.
As soon as you want Anthony to actually talk on Skype, he goes on, puts the call on hold and buggers off. It's like, got it playing out just because I wanted to test it, and this is a useful opportunity to do so. Of course, he's not.
Arwen could do it. Arwen's like right here, like just sitting here waiting. Arwen could just call you on Skype. I'm saying you could call Nathan on Skype right here, and it let Nathan exhibit what he's trying to do because Riley's like leaving Nathan hanging right now.
To be honest,
you could literally like do it.
No, he did actually before he put the call on hold. He did actually do it sufficiently for me to know that.
Indeed. I'm not busting balls. I'm just saying Arwen's here, like, and so basically he could easily just like do complete the task at hand.
Sure, I could just add him on Skype.
Sorry, I was away.
Oh no, you don't even know what
timing is everything.
Or something. Oh my god!
If you say I could do it, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Timing is
I don't know what you're saying, but if you say I can do it, I can do it.
That was great timing. Owen's here. He could do it. He could do it. He's just here to do it. He could definitely do it. I've not been here. What'd you say? What is it I'm doing now?
So Nathan, do you keep the chat on there so that it just you can see it as you watch it, or is that?
It's evidence, proof.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So it's there so that when I mirror it, when I put it on the second channel, or when I re-up the after show recording and stuff, it'll still have the chat. So the chat's still going. There's people who stay in there for hours. It's amazing.
Okay, yeah, I understand.
They've been in there 24 hours, Nathan. These ballers, they stay in there like literally all day and all night.
So on your Nathan Oakley channel, when you upload, it doesn't have the record of the live chat.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay, now I know why you do that. I've always wondered why you did that, because it records it itself, but now I get it. Okay.
Want the link?
No, I'm subscribed. I subscribed on my Slack account.
The direct link to the live chat.
Hey. So I guess they're taking Apu off The Simpsons because, well, racist.
Oh God, terrible.
Apu Napasapina Petalon.
You're not even allowed to be Indian anymore, I guess.
We're not going to allow to have thoughts here pretty soon.
It's racist to be
or they
from India.
Have to find an Indian voice actor for him.
I know. It's racist to be from India.
And a guy with dark skin with an English Indian accent that works in a convenience
or a liberal politician.
Wait, so why is that guy not allowed to run a business? They call us racist and he has to lose his business? Like, that seems like a double negative there.
No, I mean, I guess they've been stereotyping hateful, like just stereotyping.
Hang on, but who are they trying to hurt, us or them? Because if they call us racist, then they're coming at us. But then in turn, the actual foreign party has to lose their business. So so they're just going to attack both parties. Then they're going to attack the alleged victim in the protected class, who an immigrant.
Why didn't they just make him purple or something?
Well, wait a minute. The Simpsons are
everyone else is yellow. Why didn't they just make him purple?
You're not allowed to own a business if you're forward on The Simpsons. It's fucking whites only now, dude.
Mostly yellow? Is that like being like? Is that some dig at Asians?
At Asians? I mean, no, because the only person that calls Asians yellow anymore is Julie Chen. She's the only person since 1941 to refer to Asians as yellow.
No. If you go to China, they consider themselves yellow.
Like I just said, in America, the only person to refer to Asians as yellow since 1941 would be Julie Chen.
stay in America now anymore.
Julie Chen. Julie Chen. She had her eyes like literally tried to have them surgically changed to look less Asian.
Yeah, that's big in Korea.
Yeah, that's racist as shit.
I just can't imagine. What is? I'm just trying to think of the logic. You know,
I'm trying to figure out why we're in America and we're being told that we're not allowed to raise double birds and tell everybody to go fuck themselves. Like, I mean, we're in America. I mean, seriously, I think the one thing that makes us American at the core is our right to hate anybody and everybody for
any
nothing.
reason we wish.
For nothing. I can hate.
Well, listen, wait. It's a human emotion, so it's in and of itself. Hate is necessarily good or bad. And
you can't prove it. And so here, like in California, where they try to like basically give enhanced charges for criminality based on grounds of hate crime, where if I go up and I shoot somebody, I get charged with murder. But if they can somehow prove that I hated like them because of their sexuality or their this or their that or whatever, then it's like a double charge, right? But the thing is,
but you already did murder. That's pretty much the ultimate one,
right? But the thing is, so you'll get 25 to life for the murder, right? But if they can apply, if they can say, well, you did it because you hated them. If they can prove that or if they can allege and try to, I guess, Shanghai the courts into somehow saying that there's proof for an emotional catalyst or whatever as the only intent, which is impossible. I mean, then it sets a precedence, but it also says that, okay, now the feelings that you had when you committed the crime affect how we're going to charge that crime. So basically, I go up and I say, check it out, man. I love you. Can you braid my hair real quick and everything? And I like have them give me cornrows and shit, you know what I'm saying? And I get all hood ratted out. And I'm like, I love it. But because I love your culture so much, I'm going to embody the gangster hip hop culture to the fullest and shoot you in the head right now. See, in that case, you can't charge me with a hate crime because you could try to charge me with cultural appropriation. But you can't charge me with a hate crime. You can only say I loved it too much. I loved it so much that I just wanted to embody it to the fullest. Hey, blood in, blood out, dog.
Hey, and let's not forget that there's science behind all the. I mean, not only the glow, but all this other crap.
I killed him because I love their culture so much. I wanted to be a part of it and really, really like do that. And I don't want to be a faker.
Let's not do that. That's not.
You see what I'm saying? That's
these are not the opinions of the flat Earth debate.
No, these are hypotheticals based on California law. I'm saying I'm giving you circumstances as to say how if you were to go commit a crime under one set of circumstances, but go commit the very same crime, but if they can prove that and attach an emotion behind it, then you can get basically double penalized for that crime if they can allege. They're trying to claim they can prove an emotion and intent. You see what I'm saying? Which right there sets a precedence that there is no scientific standard for. And apparently here in America, in certain if you've been charged with certain sex crimes or whatever, apparently they do the electronic like attach it to your Wang thing and show you like videos of shit of kids and shit and look for the fucking reaction and shit and actually do that test and will basically give people additional sex violation elements to their prison sentence if based on the results of that so-called medical analysis.
Wow.
Science.
Gnarly.
Science. It's all science, man. All experts.
He must be on mute.
Utter.
Can we talk about something more lighthearted, please?
Well, do y'all know anybody that gets a lot of super chats? Do you know anybody that's had any super chats taken away from them for vulgar language?
No, there's no, you can profane all you want to. You can cuss all you want to on YouTube.
Okay. So,
their
new rule, is that just bullshit?
No, they can demonetize you.
Wait.
They can demonetize you for bad language.
Okay, so wait. So
right, Nathan, for advertisements, but not for super chats.
So
Nathan,
super chats, you get a lot of super chats, right?
Yeah, they can't take... Well, the only way they could remove super chats would be if you violated copyright, then you'd have all monetization would be removed from the video, and that would include super chats if it was a live stream.
So why are people saying that they could lose their super chat for vulgar language?
That's dumb as shit, because they're either lying or they're shilling or they're ignorant.
Yeah, that's
These are people with over 100,000 subs.
Then they're definitely shilling, and like, I mean, give me a break, buddy. Anybody who you see right around 100,000 subs and their numbers haven't changed more than 80 subs in the last, say, 3 years, they bought 100,000 subs, buddy. And so whatever they have over 100,000 is like their real subs. You know what I'm saying? I can just start pulling up YouTuber after YouTuber who have like 100,000, 141 subs. So they have a real 141 subs and 100,000 fake subs.
So there's a couple of flat earthers that have recently made videos about their subs being taken away from them. I won't mention any specific names, but nonetheless, they're claiming that they're being censored and all this kind of shite. And I look at their astronomical number of subscribers and think, no, all that's happening here is the same as ever with YouTube. If you buy subscribers, at some point the YouTube algorithm figures out whether or not they're legitimate subscribers. And when people say, oh, I was unsubscribed, well, you get unsubscribed if you're a genuine person as well, if you don't fit the algorithm. In other words, if you're not watching
Nathan, it's a monthly contract thing. He just didn't pay his bill. He probably just got on the month-to-month billing cycle as opposed to like paying for a year or paying for indefinite subs. And so that's why you saw after 30 days, the numbers start to trickle down because he has a grace period to pay his bill again, and then his subs will tick back up to 100,000 subs. But if he doesn't pay his bill again, then his subs will trickle away over a 14-day period. And then if he hasn't paid his fucking bill by 14 days, all his 100,000 subs will have trickled out over 3-minute intervals over the 14 days.
And the reason they get filtered out is because YouTube every
he didn't pay his bill.
They go through something called the purge, and basically they apply a certain yardstick to the subscribers and say, are you watching this channel that you are subscribed to? Have you watched it within a given framework, time period? If not, they just literally unsubscribe you. So when I used to get unsubscribed from Eric DeBay, it didn't make me think, oh, that's suspicious. What it made me realise was I haven't watched Eric DeBay in 6 months. So they just unsubscribe you. Because otherwise you...
The thing is, Nathan, I have channels on my YouTube that I've had for 3 to 5 years that I haven't watched in 3 to 5 years, and it will never unsub me from them.
Yeah, fair enough. But it won't
it's
ever
a purchase thing. He's not paying his bill.
But they haven't put anything in your subscription
feed. The subs
feed,
for indefinite. He rented the subs. You understand what I'm saying? He basically went on rental instead of buy.
I get it. You can actually buy. What do you mean buy?
You can buy subs or you can rent subs. If the way that he did it, he's paying month to month.
Wait. I get that. So when I go to a channel, it says how many subs. But my question is, okay, so you can buy them, and that's not my question. Is it just a number they put on your account to make it more appealing, or
Yes, it's to generate attempt to generate more traffic to try to instill a false popularity.
Okay, so they don't actually they wouldn't take my account and subscribe me to somebody that bought.
No. So
you'll never be subbed to somebody unintentionally.
Okay, so it's fake.
There's no fake views, and what I mean by that is a view is a view. Somebody's clicked on the video. Now, that's not to say that person hasn't got... Nathan. Just bear with me. That's not to say that person hasn't got 5,000 accounts, because YouTube permit that. I think there's some sort of limit, 50 a day. But that means it opens the doors to companies to set up the facility to sell you views. Now, every single view will be someone clicking on the video for a given time period. So,
there's
in other
bots
words,
too.
The way they win...
Bots, no people behind it, just bots.
Yeah.
No, that's not necessarily the case anymore, because the YouTube algorithms outsmarted the bots. So while that might be the case that you can buy cheap subscribers that are just bot-based, YouTube immediately wipes them out. So
no, you don't understand, Nathan. You can purchase this directly from YouTube. All these basically resources that I'm stating, you can purchase this from YouTube, not from a secondary or third-party source to try to run through YouTube. You understand what I'm saying? These are something that
hold on.
This is all
new
stuff
to
you're
me.
going to buy straight through YouTube.
So tell me what YouTube is. This is new to me. So what are YouTube selling?
YouTube offers actually a whole host of things with their different levels of tier bracket membership. There's probably at least seven different levels of YouTube membership, basically, that you can basically purchase. And you will see people like Lionel Nation. Lionel went from 8,100 subs to 85,000 subs over the course of about 18, 19 days. And when his traffic had literally been parked, it's always the same amount of people in the live chats, like every day, about like 840. And then his subs really didn't fluctuate more than about 5 or 10 more a month, up and sometimes down. And then it was obvious when he purchased a $100,000 block set of subs, and then because he's got a lot of money in general, he went ahead and bought the viewer package as well. So therefore, it places legitimized, basically system bots, but hosted by YouTube that account for your hours watched, so it actually logs as an official view and doesn't just.
So let me get this straight. So YouTube went from battling bots and wiping them out with the purge to battling real people who are making phony accounts.
Wait, Nathan, somebody's mic is.
I think it's.
Sorry, that's me. Sorry, that's me.
Okay, so YouTube have gone from battling bots, like you described YouTube are now using, and purging them, to battling with people in Far Eastern countries that are basically real people clicking on your video and potentially giving you a certain amount of watch time for a given amount of money, and them figuring out based on an algorithm who they are to wipe them out. Now YouTube are doing it themselves, so they offer you their own package.
Now you're dead on. You're absolutely dead on, and now you understand. You were able to track the dollars right now. They're doing it. They did exactly what they did because they want to be the ones offering those services. They do not want those services being offered by other people when they see that those are obvious services that people want. So therefore, why would they allow other people to host those services through their platform when they themselves serve to be able to profit by offering those things themselves if that's what people want? It's just like YouTube business contracts, as far as you can basically buy advertising and all this shit basically through YouTube. That's how you see like the sponsored ads, sponsored videos, sponsored this. You can like level up basically with your purchasing tier bracket of YouTube membership to where your shit could be like literally on the front page of Google freaking search, or of YouTube trending like nonstop. You're gonna be paying probably 25,000 a week to do that, but they're gonna generate fucking 50 million views to your video a week as well, and so therefore, and they're gonna keep you monetized, so therefore they win, you win, they win, you win, they win, you win, but it's all fraud at the base of it. But it's not really fraud because it's just a service, and they're not lying to the public. It's not like you don't see that it's sponsored, and so there's no law that says people can't buy subs like and views and stuff like from YouTube, you know what I'm saying, to make their channel look more popular. There's no law against that, and so if people want to pay for it, then YouTube says that they want to be the only ones making the money off of it, which is understandable.
This is basically pure vanity. So it's someone like me who says, well, I want to seem really popular.
Yeah, like Simon Dan.
So so the reason they think it's legitimate in terms of when I talk to them about how they're faking their views, they seem very confident that they're not, even though it's blatantly obvious they are. And that would presumably be that the sales pitch has now changed from being guy in the Far East saying, yes, we'll have a genuine person watching your video, it's a real view, which is true, to YouTube punting that to the same customer, and they'll present it in the way that they can do it within their algorithm. For example, the autoplay. So autoplay, potentially, if you were one of these paying customers, I'm speculating here, would be the thing that they would utilise to increase your view count. So they just stick it on that when a video ends, the next one that plays will be the person that's paid them to get it to play. It doesn't mean that the person who's watching it won't just immediately spin on to the next video, or watch it because they're in the next room and it just happens to play. But they'll ultimately get a view counted.
They won't do it on there because that will have to be linked basically through the topicality, like where if like I look up like a rap video, when I like scroll like and look at the videos that are underneath like the play screen or whatever, like in like which will be what come up next in the autoplay essentially, they're going to be videos that are essentially in one way or another associated topicality wise with the video that I watched, for example. But on the Google trending page, that's where this shit's going to happen. That's where the big money goes, is when you hit that YouTube trending icon. That's not going to have anything to do with your search history or view history or watch history or preferences within YouTube. That's going to be the 100% what's coming from the alleged zeitgeist of popularity. You see what I'm saying? That's what that trending element is supposed to be. It has nothing to do with your own history, which is completely where autoplay comes from.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!